Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected what he calls unacceptable terms presented by Hamas for a new hostage deal. It comes as the Israeli leader faces increasing pressure at home and abroad over his handling of the war with Hamas. I'm joined now by Sylvia Westall, Bloomberg's managing editor for economy and government in the Middle East. Sylvia, pleasure to have you on the show as always. Now, over the weekend, President Biden had spoken with the Israeli Prime Minister for the first time in almost 4 weeks. How did those discussions go?
Well, there have been tensions between the US and Israel over what a post-war Gaza will look like. The US and Arab nations have called for the Palestinian Authority to be running Gaza once the war is over. And Israel has said that it wants to keep security control of Gaza and the West Bank after the war. So there's real issues there about what that would look like and what kind of solution could be found. The US has sort of hit back at those comments, recent comments from Israel, saying that any long-lasting solution needs to have a state for Palestinians at the heart of it, and that's very important. So I think we are seeing some frustrations on both sides about what will happen next. Israel maintains that its focus is on fighting the war with Hamas in Gaza, and that discussions on what a post-war Gaza will look like are premature. But of course, for countries in the region and for countries around the world, it is important to discuss what's happening now. So I think that's where those sort of frictions have come in, and there's the sense, at least from countries in the region, that Israel is not being reasonable in terms of discussing this, and that's rippled out towards the US as well.
Talk to us about the internal pressures as well, because if you look at the context of what Benjamin Netanyahu's comments were over the weekend was around specifically the hostage deal, which of course is something watched globally, but especially at home in Israel. And he's saying the terms are unacceptable because it requires pulling out of Gaza, the operation that of course has cost lives on both sides. Talk to us about the domestic dynamics for Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Netanyahu also made the point that under this, apparently under this deal, it would involve also releasing people that Israel says were actually involved in the attack, so it would be unacceptable to Israel. So it's a difficult one. It's not clear exactly what the terms of this latest offer would be. The hostages remain a very important issue in Israel. There are still more than 100 people being held there in Gaza. It's the families, the hostages have been holding regular rallies. They've been taking their concerns also around the world. They've been trying to keep this at the forefront, and it is something that's a domestic pressure. But at the same time, it's quite hard to overstate just how big a change, a shift in public opinion there's been in Israel as well. There's a real sense that the country is at war, that it must defeat Hamas. So there's all these internal pressures happening, and there are also reports of frictions within the actual war cabinet of Netanyahu, and the sense that once this is all over, what will be his political future as the person who was running the country at the time that the attack happened. So there's all these different internal domestic pressures on the government and also abroad.